our notions of how technology would progress. At least modern for the late 90s. Hell, one of my favorite bits in the entire series is when Spike and Jet are fiddling with VCRs like they're cavemen.
The tape is messed up.
That isn't helping, Spike. It's not? Huh.
To me, this idea of world building is very reminiscent of Ridley Scott's vision of the future, as set by Alien. Instead of the harmonious, oddly sterile future of Roddenberry's Star Trek, Scott, and by extension Bebop, saw humanity's future barely making it past Earth's gravity. While the Weyland-Yutani Corporation are the presiding force that govern peace and progression, the actual police force in Bebop are so powerless to stop crime that they have to resort to hiring bounty hunters. This complete reliance is so ingrained into the culture that there is a whole television show dedicated to bounty hunting information.
He escaped from prison 3 years ago, and the statute of limitations is about to run out.
And the bounty?
Show enough! It's now double time!
Don't miss this opportunity! Though I hate to admit it, I kinda hate to see him go. What a shame!
Whoa! Judy, what are you saying? This buckaroo's an escaped convict!
I'm aware of that. But my word, what a handsome guy! Oh, just look at his picture!
But unlike Ridley Scott, Watanabe's future is strangely racially diverse. Without a doubt, Cowboy Bebop is the most racially inclusive anime I've ever seen, and possibly ever. Hell, the anime about world nations interacting with each other are presented almost entirely by white people.
Christmas trees are illegal in my country. It kinda sucks. Just like girls. It's because they catch fire too easily, the trees, not the girls. We started celebrating Christmas when Hong Kong introduced it. I'm sure it's a little different than Western Christmas. We do have pizza now.
But here is Bebop, with its characters living through a slightly dystopian world where the Earth is constantly bombarded by space debris, leaving it mostly uninhabitable, but still there are recognizable world cultures on display. Hell, Spike, though he was born on Mars, is hinted to be Jewish, what with his name being Spiegel. We tend to not look at Bebop as a sci-fi story, even more so than Macross Plus, though mainly for the same reason. The human drama is front and center in Bebop, and save for a few episodes like Pierrot Le Fou and Brain Scratch, the series could be set at any time. By the way, those 2 episodes are probably my favorite, along with Jupiter Jazz and Ballad of Fallen Angels. Truth be known, I could have easily grooved to Cowboy Bebop if it didn't stylize itself after American movies and such. But I don't think it would endear itself to me the way it has if the story and characters didn't go through a metaphorical Americanization. Sure, Bebop is a stone-cold classic, there's no disputing that. But I think the series means something more globally minded than that. One of the hidden appeals of anime is that it's a product of emerging cultures. It's well documented that the progenitors of the anime style we know today drew their own inspiration from the art styles of Walt Disney and Company. The use of large, expressive eyes are especially noteworthy. From this foundation, Japan was able to explore their own cultural identity through manga and anime, telling stories and creating characters and worlds that would shape their own ideas of popular fiction. And Bebop, I believe, is the realization of this history, and bridges a cultural gap because of it. Here is a show, foreign in production, but wholly committed to professing its admiration and inspiration to the culture that influenced it. And here we are, returning said admiration with praise and interest in exploring what other stories this culture may have told. Transcending both geographic and linguistic barriers, a dialogue can be established, a connection built on cultural exchange and understanding, and a love for telling stories. Bebop is more than a great anime. It's nothing short of important. It opens doors and minds to ideas that otherwise might never have occurred. I once talked about standards and how hard it was for anime fans back in the day to keep up with their hobby. It's through programming blocks like Adult Swim and the Sci-Fi Channel's Anime Saturdays and Anime Festival, and most importantly Toonami, that we were able to indulge our interests and, most importantly, broaden them. Would the likes of Bebop, Trigun, and other classics be where they are today without Adult Swim? Maybe they could have caused enough buzz for fans to get their attention, but I don't think it would have had its widespread appeal without the push that the Saturday Action Block provided. And most importantly, it showed people who never even thought about anime before what they were missing. Thank you, William Street. Normally, when I close a positive episode, I languish over the fact that the next anime is going to be pretty terrible. But instead, this time around, I think I want to leave you guys on a more emotional note than that. EYE has some Mars on next episode, but for now, let's let Space Lion play us out.